Where's your honeymoon?
Oh, great honeymoon. Go ahead, Meryl.
Oh, you tell 'em.
Well, I had the fondest memories that I knew Mary Ellen would love up at Mont Tremblant, which is north of Montreal. And it was a famous ski resort, one of the most famous ski resorts at the time. And Stein Erikson was the teaching pro at that resort. And I used to spend my single days up there skiing 2 or 3 years with Kenny Mason and Chuck Crowell and all of us. So I took Mary Ellen up there on our honeymoon. And it was one of the most wonderful honeymoons in my life, only one in my life. But I find out in later years that Mary Ellen was real happy with that honeymoon.
And why is that, Mom?
It was boring, Dennis. I'm sorry. It's not what I call a honeymoon.
Boring.
It was boring.
Jeez.
No. The first night, we left St. Clair Shores, went to a bar and had a drink because I was 21. The gal never asked me for proof, which was no big deal. And we're saying, we're going on our honeymoon. And she thought, okay, so what? And then we go to a motel that Dad never made reservations at. I mean, I'm trying to think of what it would compare to.
So it was well planned.
No, it wasn't planned. The hotel was kind of.
Back then.
I
called ahead, I think.
It was on Gratiot. It was not. It was on Gratiot.
Well, they're always vacant.
Oh, it was just a bed, a plastic table, and a chair. It was. We have pictures. We have pictures.
Wait a minute. He took you to a hotel in Gratiot?
Motel. On Gratiot. Like.
That was the beginning of your honeymoon?
That was our first night. Our married night. We went to a motel with plastic. Yeah. That was.
I thought it was elegant.
Oh, I thought it was too.
Even more elegant.
What am I going to do? This is it.
Well, I'd explain what you
This
have to
is
do.
the start of my marriage. Here we go. And all along, we never had a beautiful hotel or anything.
Yeah, we did too. In Niagara Falls, we had a gorgeous hotel. Right on the falls. You could look at the falls.
Yeah, we looked. And then we went to your aunt and uncle's house.
Yeah, they ran $25 a night.
And we went to the aunt and uncle's house. Upstairs in their bedroom were my clothes. Thank goodness Barbara Harcourt got me a flannel nightgown, a big long sleeve. My shampoo froze in the bedroom because it was so freezing cold at his aunt and uncle's house. That was real special.
Well, I tried to keep you warm.
And then yeah, right. And then we went to another house, another aunt and uncle's, and had dinner there. Aunt Ann and Uncle Morris.
Did we stay there?
I
think we did. Slept there too.
I can't remember.
Yeah, they gave us a bed.
Yeah, that was probably as freezing cold there too.
All the kids were there. Peter, all the cousins.
1,000 kids. Oh, it was great. It was great.
And well, it was good. Except I'll tell you, going out of Montreal, we ran into a white-out version in my '57 Plymouth, which was a gorgeous.
It was a wonderful
car. A real classic.
Yeah, that was classic.
And we ran into that snowstorm. It was unbelievable.
Couldn't
the two
see.
of us, and we were going 10 miles an hour. We didn't get into the lake till Wilbur Mary, but boy, what a tough ride that was.
It was terrible.
And that was in November. Well, that would have been nearly December, but what the snow was unbelievable.
So that would have been
57.
57?
And then we came home early because Kathy had pneumonia. I called home and Kathy had
pneumonia? I
Yeah.
don't remember that.
I know. But no, it was very cold.
Well, it was one of those honeymoons.
Nobody spoke English. We went to Quebec and nobody spoke English.
We stayed at my lodge that I always skied at. And there was nobody there, so they would go to room. They had a few people that would handle.
What was the name of the lodge? Do you remember?
The Mont Tremblant Lodge.
Tremblant, whatever.
What do you call it?
Mont Tremblant.
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 Mont
Tremblant. Yeah. And that's north of Montreal. But anyhow, I made reservations, and they were ready for us. But we were the only ones in the hotel, huge hotel, if you imagine a big ski lodge. But they'd go from room to room and light a fire for us. If we went into the living room, they'd light a fire. Go into our bedroom, they'd light a fire.
No, they never went into our bedroom.
Well,
we never had one.
We had a fireplace.
No, it was like we have breakfast and then we go into another room.
We had the honeymoon suite with a tub.
Did not.
We did. Well, all I remember is when I skied, everybody shared a tub. All the skiers, you couldn't go to a
Well, then,
We had
that's
a
not
tub.
the same place we went to.
antique tub, but it was good, running
Yeah,
water.
everybody had a tub. Oh, is that special?
Well, okay, so you got back from the honeymoon and where'd you go? You settled in somewhere?
Milner Road. Yeah,
Milner.
went to Milner. And remember
Beautiful.
One
place.
stopping
two-bedroom house.
in
Right.
Canada and getting Canadian bacon and getting up the first night after we got there and making Dad Canadian bacon and eggs. And he thought, oh, this is my wife. Like, I'm going to do this every morning. Yeah, that was that morning. And then I had to go to work. I worked.
And you worked where?
Dr. Pizer,
As
just a dental
Dental
receptionist, assistant, which was down the street. I didn't even have to go far.
did you walk?
I think I did because I didn't have a car. I walked because it was not far. Yeah. Yeah, he was, Hank Pizer
What were you
was
doing,
great.
Dad? Where did
Working
you work?
12 hours a day at Chrysler Missile. We were building the Redstone missiles for weaponry.
I
Oh,
worked like 10, but
So you're responsible for the wars that we've had.
That's correct.
Great.
I'm responsible for the wins that we had.
Okay.
I can relate to every major piece of the war. Like I remember when the Russians were coming in on Cuba.
Mhm.
I had been working on the Polaris missile program. I mean, long hours. I had round-the-clock shifts on that because we had to produce 30 missiles a month to go into the Polaris submarines all over the world. And I'll never forget that moment when the Russian ship is coming to Cuba, and here was the U.S. barricade. And it was on national television.
Cuban missile crisis.
Cuban missile crisis, that's exactly right. And there was that Russian ship, and
Yep.
all of a sudden, and everybody's wondering, is it going to keep coming? Which meant we pushed the buttons on those redstones going right into Moscow that were buried in the submarines all over the world. Or was it going to turn around? And all of a sudden, that ship made a U-turn. And that was, I'll never forget that
That was
moment.
John F. Kennedy that
Yes, it was.
was
It was
in
John F.
office.
Kennedy,
Yeah.
and that happened.
I remember that.
You talk about a crisis.
That was in all the history books.
Yeah, and even that movie was shown in one of the movies, that same picture where that Russian ship turned around.
and what do you,
What a
That's amazing.
that was amazing.
Yeah.
turning
but you
point.
didn't like John F. Kennedy.
Oh, I liked him at that point. I did. There was some things I didn't like, but
Okay.
Well, you've always been a staunch Republican.
that's correct.
He was
Exactly.
a Democrat.
That's correct.
Exactly.
Yes, all my life.
Yes.
I'm a lifelong Republican.
And
Yeah.
so, Milner, is that where I was born or what? What happened?
Yes, you
No,
were born in Miller.
You were.
Yeah.
You were. You were.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is labor?
You were our firstborn.
Oh.
You're, and that was a tough
That was tough.
pregnancy.
It was Milner.
We were
I
there on
remember
Christmas
getting-
Eve. Oh, tell them about Christmas Eve. We were at Mass.
I remember getting up at night when was it Father Larry's ordination, and getting up and everybody said, drink tea, drink tea. I remember getting up and drinking tea, which I never liked, and getting into the car to go to the ordination and throwing up.
No, pardon me, honey. That was his ordination as a deacon, not a priest. He was
Okay.
born a priest. He was made a priest after we were married.
We were married then, I'm sorry.
Not when he was ordained. As a deacon, yeah.
Oh,
We were all at the deacon ceremony.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I remember getting very, very sick. Yeah, it was on Milner.
And wasn't Dad singing in the choir, or you singing in the choir or something?
That was in December. That was November.
I
This
thought we
is
were talking about my
December.
birth.
Your birth. Your birth. Yeah, your birth, December.
Yeah.
Dad had to sing in the choir. I'm due on like the
It was
20th
midnight mass.
of December. I'm due the 20th of December, and you didn't come, didn't come. Dad said, well, I've got to sing. You got to come to church. So it's the 24th,
I had a solo
midnight.
at the Incarnatus, the Latin part. I had to be there. Go ahead. So Mom was up in the choir loft with me. Go ahead. With the whole choir,
See?
all men choir.
Does he interrupt?
Go ahead.
Does he not?
What?
So I'm up in the choir loft, stupid me, young, 21 years old, never had a baby.
Good man.
Well, stupid, because I shouldn't have been up there. I'm in labor.
Oh,
You know, my water
you
could have
didn't know
broke.
you were in
Oh,
labor.
I had been in labor all that day.
You knew it?
Oh yeah, I started labor in the morning.
Okay,
I started
that's
the
important
morning-
information. I didn't know
The
that.
morning of the 24th, I started getting pains in my stomach, and I'm thinking, oh, I think this is labor. And I, oh, this isn't bad, you know. And then they get a little worse. Oh, this isn't that bad. Dad said, you know, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, we've got to go to church. I'm thinking, well, they're getting a little bit worse. These pains are getting worse. And Dad said, well, I've got to sing. You know, I've got to sing. Okay, so I get dressed, go to church, and I'm up in the choir loft, and Dad's telling all these men, like 16 of them, oh, she's in labor, she's in labor, she's in labor. Grandpa's down, and my mother and Dad are downstairs. We're up in the choir loft. They're downstairs. And Grandpa's going up and down the aisle. She's in labor. She's in labor, telling all her friends. Everybody knows. I'm in labor. So, right after the creed.
No, I didn't make the creed. I never got to do my incarnate.
Okay, I'm saying,
solo.
whatever. It got really,
We're approaching
I'm
the creed.
hurting really bad, and I'm thinking, maybe I should go. And it's snowing outside. So Grandpa keeps cleaning the car. Anyhow, we get outside. I have to go to the hospital. I gotta really go because it's hurting pretty bad, which wasn't that bad. You don't know till you know. So we get to the hospital, and of course, it was getting worse and worse,
That was
and
about
it didn't get
15,
that bad.
20 miles to the hospital.
And it was, you know,
It was
and
so-
then it went till the
Well,
26th. So Dad sat for a day and a half, and everybody brought him Christmas dinner and all that stuff, and finally, you were born.
Well, let me add
Long
one little
time.
bit in that hospital.
Well, I don't know.
Mary Ellen was having a very tough delivery.
Uh-huh.
Even by anybody's standards, it had gone long into the night and was into the 26th, the
And
morning
they
of
didn't
the
give you
26th,
anything
I
then
think,
like
yeah.
they do now.
Right.
You know,
And I went into the
you were in
chapel,
hard labor.
Yeah.
Hard.
No epidurals, nothing like that.
No way.
and I prayed to a priest that I knew all my life that died. Father
You said that
Dennis-
before.
Dennis Aloysius Hayes. As Father Dennis, wherever you are, because he was all my only thing I really knew about.
How did you know him?
He was the pastor of our parish all my life.
Mm-hmm.
But you had said
Virtually.
that before.
And I
that,
said, we'll
Dennis.
name him Dennis, if this comes out okay. And
Hmm.
that's why you got
I
Dennis.
didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Huh.
But you said that before he was even born. We're going to name him
Did
Father
we?
Dennis.
Dennis? I didn't think we
Yeah,
named
you
Dennis.
wanted
but
Dennis.
thought it
Yeah,
was-
I knew that would be Dennis.
But I sure prayed to Dennis Aloysius Hayes.
Yeah, it was hard. You were hard.
That was a tough,
It was hard.
Yeah.
It was a hard
and a
time.
tough after. or
Afterbirth,
for a
yeah.
month.
Because I had stitches,
Oh.
and the doctor just
And Joe would come in and
did
Mary Ellen was
the
a terrible kid.
stitches
She was a
all
kid.
wrong, and and then you stay in the hospital for 5 days. Then you go home, you're in bed for like 7 days, and Aunt Joe would come in and say,
Oh.
"This girl is so butchered up. That doctor did a bad job."
Well, did we go back to him then for Patty? I think we did, didn't we?
We did.
And
I
I
shouldn't
had
have.
a problem with her.
You know,
too,
well,
right?
it
Or
was.
she had
That was-
She
pneumonia
had
or blood.
a blood infection.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
that was the doctor's fault. I think-
Edmondson. It was Dr. Edmondson.
Yeah,
Remember him?
yeah.
I'll never forget him.
So Patty, was she born on Milner too, or was that?
No, she was on Avon.
The new house, we moved into Avon then.
Did you own the house on Milner, or did you rent that?
We
Rented.
rented that one.
And then the house on Avon,
We bought that
And
one.
Milner was right on the water. We had a boat.
A
Dick and
canal.
I were building a boat, refurbished it, Chuck Boat's boat. He had a
Yeah,
falling out
it
with Chuck.
was my brother.
We got that running.
It was,
with
my
an
brother,
With an
not
inboard
Dick.
engine, yeah, Dick, that's me, Dick Mary Ellen's brother, Dick and I.
yeah.
is there pictures of it?
Yeah, great
Oh, yeah,
boat,
I
but we
don't
had
know where
more
they're at.
fun with that. And we would go out,
That's neat.
yeah, it was right on the water.
Yeah.
Our first place right on the water, never been back on the water since.
Wow.
But anyhow, we moved into
Yeah.
Avon, and I'll never forget buying Avon.
Oh, jeez.
It was gonna run me, we were
90
paying rent, $85 a month, and the rent would be $92
The
a month.
mortgage was $99.99
92 a month, no, 92 a month.
on Avon.
And I thought, oh my God, how am I ever gonna meet payments like that? And I thought, holy moly, what did I get into? Mary Ellen wanted that house, and I was very reluctant, but I finally agreed. And I thought, I'll never be
Dennis.
able to get out of debt. The
Now-
whole house cost
$11,000.
$11,600, I think it was, 11,600.
11,000.
Well,
It was
we
1,100 square feet. 1,100
$10
square
a square
feet.
foot to build it. Just a
And it was
foot.
$11,000.
It was 11,600.
My car cost, all cars in this house
I hear
cost
you,
more.
no, yeah, that was probably a lot of money back then.
Oh, well, Dad just thought I was,
I
you know,
thought,
a
what,
money grabber. I was
what that
so
Mary
mad.
is putting me into that kind of debt?
Well, just out of curiosity, what was your rent at Milner?
80 bucks.
85, I
85,
think.
this was about 88.
And this was
90.
99.
And how much of a down payment did you have to put down on the house?
I don't know, about
$800?
$1,000.
$1,000 and 99 a month, that's not a big deal,
No.
Dad.
Oh,
Well, it was for
it's
me.
not
How could
now,
that make you
Dennis.
go into debt? If you're paying 80,
Well, I was only making $400 a month.
but you were paying 80 on Milner and you're only paying an additional
know,
19
I
bucks.
know, I
a month.
know.
And owning the home. But I had to get used to all that, because I was an engineer, I didn't get into all that accounting stuff, but it was tough.
Oh. And then we had to put sod in, didn't have a garage. It was just a simple, very simple home, very nice little home.
Mhm.
Don't you remember it, Dennis?
I don't remember that.
And we were there 5 months? How many months
Oh,
were we in
about
the house?
9,
9 months?
10 months, and we moved. to
And no,
California.
we didn't move. I got a call, and it was in January. Chrysler Missile was moving their entire missile operations from Chaude, Louisiana, and I was interviewing jobs around Detroit, and that was not a real great time for jobs in Detroit. And my whole background was aerospace, and all that was left, that was the only aerospace company in Detroit, was